A video was shown when people were picking a dead body of their loved ones on a boda. It was so ironical, it was so bad in a 21st century. In fact, here's the tape. That is the picture when people were picking their loved ones who had succumbed on a boda. You know, in a country, when such things happen, it is something we must reflect on as a nation. Because that looked to be a big hospital, I'm still investigating. Hospitals must be at least with an ambulance to take these loved ones home. Can you imagine him putting a dead body on a boda? First of all, it does not only put the life of the people taking him on the boda at risk, but also is so embarrassing. Imagine if it was your father on a boda. It is the truth. Okay? If people look at this in our nation, it is so embarrassing. And this comes at a juncture when our health sector budget is so low. In fact, we don't even reach the threshold which was recommended by the United Union, by the United Nations, because the United Nations has a specific percentage each country must put in the health sector, but we don't reach it. So in the course of this video, I've come to talk about the incident that happened, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're into this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sura Mawagali. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. First of all, I should acknowledge that Uganda has very good doctors. What lacks many of the cases is the infrastructure like medicine, like proper pay for the doctors, and something small like ambulances. The IGG sometimes brought a report showing that ambulances in the country are less than the cars used in State House.
Museveni's convoy has now grown to 60 vehicles. You are aware that his son, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, also has a convoy of a dozen vehicles, including a huge truck similar to that of his father. The father uses as a toilet. The wife also has a convoy with similar facilities. These are no longer leaders of an impoverished country that survives on loans which it cannot pay. In fact, Mr. Museveni and his family are now behaving like kings, which is the reason at his function, 50th anniversary, wedding anniversary, the appropriate guests that Museveni found to invite were Nigerian chiefs. If you all know how ostentatious are Nigerians. The trouble is that we don't seem to see this as a country. These days, our president has developed appetite for parties, and his family members are competing with each other. The son has become a huge cost to this country, staging expensive parties. Now his dad has started. After the wedding anniversary, there is also a function at Kira Museveni at 79. The wife, Mama Janet Kata, has also turned 75. If she is not interested in staging a party, maybe some opportunist may throw one for her. And the girls have also grown. If they begin, we may have a party from a member of Museveni's family every week. Mind you, intern doctors who treat the hopeless population are still not yet deployed, and children in public schools still go without lunch. Mr. Museveni promised milk for children, which he forgot. The wife had promised sanitary pads, but handlers don't seem to have reminded her, yet she is a very busy person. He now employs 761 members of staff. If you look at the ministerial statement supplied to Parliament for 2020 to 2023, these staff at the President's office include 82 presidential advisors, 142 resident district commissioners, 98 deputy RDCs, and 27 senior presidential assistants. You need to take note that the remuneration and recruitment of staff at President's office seems to follow no guidelines. No interviews are done, and no qualifications are required. That's how people like a butcherman, and I will be giving you a list that where a butcherman is also now a staff at the President's office, formerly of the fire-based crew, have found themselves on a government payroll. The salaries and wages are also given in a similar manner. If you look at the list of presidential advisors that I'm going to give you, for example, Salim Saleh, his salary is now 17 million as a senior presidential advisor. Dr. Ezra Suruma, Professor Edward Rugumayo, at the same rank are given 11 million. Mr. Audrey Kruawogo, who marries one of Museveni's daughters, is paid 15 million per month. Former Finance Minister Gerard Sendaula, at the same level with Ruawogo, is given 2.3 million. It is even worse when it comes to military personnel. You'll find that Major General Chiza Ali is paid 15 million, presidential advisor. Colonel William Omaria, 9 million. And Major General Joshua Masawa, 2.3. Yet they are all senior presidential advisors at the same rank. You need to also remember that the Minister of Health, in a presentation to Parliament, told us that we have a gap of 35% medical personnel in public facilities. Yet every year, it is now costing Uganda 30 billion to pay the salaries of staff at the President's office. So if you look at the list here, which I have provided, it has all the employees and their salaries. The one who earns the biggest salary now is Dr. Wakana Rugunda, who is a special envoy for special duties, Office of the President. We have Salim Saleh, 17.1 million per month. Chintu Musoke, 17.1. Betty Vigombe at 15 million. We have Gakwandi Asa Shato, Kawagambe Kalisa, all these are 15 million. Presidential advisors, you'll see the name. When you go to the category of special presidential assistants, this is where you will find the musicians like Butcherman and Kusasira. They are also now part of the government payroll. Kusasira is a special presidential assistant political affairs, paid 2.3 million per month. Bugembe Buchaman is deputy special presidential assistant political affairs, paid 2.3 million. So the cost of advisors and these assistants every year, we are spending 9.1 billion on paying wages for presidential advisors. We are spending 764 million per month on presidential advisors and 25.4 million per day on these advisors and 1 million per hour. This cost does not include their vehicles, escorts, fuel, and other expenditure. Of course, you also find a list of resident district commissioners who are 142. The staff at the president's office. If you look at the budget of this financial year, the country will be spending 47.7 billion in salaries alone for workers of the president at his residence, which translates into 3.9 per month, 132 million per day, and 5.5 million per hour. The total budget, of course, you are aware, is 410 billion. The details are very interesting for you to note. For example, the president at his residence employs 59 waitresses. He has 14 room attendants. He has 40 private secretary, 23 political mobilizer. He has 9 rounders and dobby, 29 housekeepers, 80 gardeners. I don't know which gardens are in State House. 129 drivers, 35 cooks, 50 cleaners, and 12 chefs. So this what makes a total of all the workers at President's office. The total list of people who work at Museveni's residence is now 996. These are the workers that Mr. Museveni has. My motion to Parliament.
State House alone has over 1,000 cars. State House alone. So State House has more cars than ambulances in the country. And by the ambulances that we are counted include private ambulances, like when your MP buys an ambulance for donation. All of them we are counted nationally. It is the truth. So as a country, when you see such things on social media, you must reflect to bring sanity in the health sector. It is the truth. Okay? So it was embarrassing seeing someone picking his loved one on a border being taken home. It puts not only the risk of the person taking the dead body home, but also the embarrassment of your loved ones. Imagine if it was your father. Imagine if it was your mother. Imagine if it was your son, and it was done during broad day. At least they would have maybe, if they had to use the transport system, at least at night, it wouldn't have taken away that he was taken on a bike, but at least to reduce on the embarrassment, we wouldn't have known. Okay, so such things happening is so really, really bad. As a nation, I pray that the regime understand that there is a specific percentage of our budget that's supposed to be in the health sector. Of course, you can tell me your opinion. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I will see you on another one. Peace.